Okay, now, while I have the chance to record right now, I want to talk about something that happened a few weeks ago, okay? Uh, Everyone experienced a time warp. I was told that everybody experienced this basically all around the world, okay? It gives me the opportunity to be able to explain to you exactly what a time warp feels like and what a time warp is for those who do not understand what that is. It is not a theory. It is not a thought. It's an actuality. Okay, so what happened was we were at the waterport inside a building waiting to embark on a boat. And the building's stationary. Okay, and the boat was moving, coming up to dock and let passengers off so we could get on the boat. It was a fantastic time warp. It was so fast, and it lasted for like no more than five minutes, maybe at the most. But we know that everyone experienced it because I explained to people that were waiting in the building with me. I said that's a time warp, okay? It's a really fast one because it made you lightheaded and dizzy. Sick to your stomach. About 5 minutes worth. And you could see that the boat was moving, but it also felt like the building was moving too as well. That's inside the stationary building. You've seen that where two things are moving. It looks like it's a simultaneous motion, where something's stationary but something on the other side is moving, like a bus or a boat or a car, and you feel the movement of motion, but you know that your building is stationary. Well, I'm here to tell you, or what you're studying is stationary. But that time warp was so fast. We know that it was a time warp that God speeded up to go faster into the stationary part of the world to come. We were told that at least everyone felt that all over the world. If you felt lightheaded and dizzy at any particular time, and you felt the movement of motion, then that's what it was. It was a time warp, okay? And it was a really fast time warp. It speed us into the future position of the world to come, solidifying it a lot faster. Now, it wasn't like a delusion or a sense of movement. What we're trying to explain to you is the actual movement. Even though the building was stationary, or wherever you were standing was stationary, and you saw something else on the other side moving, like for instance us stationary in the building, and we saw the boat moving to embark and dock, the stationary building we were actually moving as well. Time and space, there's motion, even though you can't see it. Time moves forward. There's a, there's a sense of motion. So the time warp it was not a delusional or illusional sense of an illusionary sense of movement. It was an actual movement. The boat was embarking, and we were moving forward in time. The people were embarking to get off the boat, and we were getting ready to embark to get on the boat. But at the same time, simultaneously, the motion and sense of time speeded up fast enough where it made you lightheaded and dizzy. Therefore, everyone understood that there was some fast movement in time and space, not a theory. So fast it made you lightheaded and dizzy and kind of nauseated. No more than 5 minutes where we were. And I explained to people as they felt that and were waiting for the boat to stop and people get off, this is a time warp and this is what you felt. Okay? We are actually moving. We have speeded up somewhat in time, closer to where we're supposed to be in the world to come. That explains to you more easily for you to understand what a time warp is, or time warp, um, not a theory, by our uncle. He was an uncle of ours, Einstein. Not a theory. It's an actuality. Time and space are always moving forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? Time and space. Space, I'll give you an example. The planet, when it was formed, as our God formed it and made heaven and earth and everything therein, and we've seen maps of the way the world was and how things have formed, and there were places where there used to be landmass, but there isn't landmass anymore. That's an area of space. Landmass occupied a space at one time that isn't occupied by landmass anymore, but maybe there's water in this spot where there was landmass at one time. Space and time move forward. Sometimes it's stationary for a short bit, but there's always movement. That's the time warp too, if it's stationary. When it takes a longer time for a minute to pass, or a few seconds to pass, when you have that sense of, boy, this is a long day or this is a long week, that's a time warp. It's not your imagination. It really is happening and occurring. But we wanted to explain to you the time warp that most like everybody felt a few weeks ago. And so it was something moving forward, God moving us forward into the world to come a lot faster. I will talk to you about the thunderings, okay, on the video too. And so, but this one is about time warp. And I wanted to explain to you basically what happened a few weeks ago. They tried to duplicate the time warp again, but they couldn't, because that time warp was of our God. He moved us forward into the world to come a lot faster. We were told everybody in the world felt that one. And that's what you felt. That's a time warp.